So a little while ago, I looked at the strange and oddly prosperous relationship between Sonic and Disney, and it was for sure a fun video to make and was super interesting to research. And because it seems like you guys really liked that one, I'm back for another edition. With what else but another one of the most famous and well-known brands of all time, Marvel. No, I'm not biased. Since Marvel's been around for over 80 years at this point, their history is a story all on its own. But for our purposes, we're going to be seeing all the times where Sonic and Marvel swap spit, with different crossovers, cameos, and references all across the years. This is going to be a fun one, so strap in and let's get into it. Also subscribe or I'll take you to a really nice dinner. So I figure we'd start out with what's probably the most obvious example of the two referencing each other, being the good old comic books. For Marvel, there's a ton, like in the 1995 Green Goblin series. There's this portion at a video games convention where, along with Earthworm Jim, this brown thing is clearly supposed to be some form of Sonic. Craig of the Creek looking ass. Then in 2015, Spider-Woman Volume 5, Number 5 yields this page, where Jessica Drew is fighting a villain called Porcupine, to whom she says, "I understand the impulse to run, but I've got a bike, and hedgehogs are only super fast in video games." To which he replies with, "I'm a porcupine." Then in 2021, MODOK Head Games Issue 3 brought up this wonderful moment. When Gwenpool's attacking our large-headed friend, he revs up into a giant spiky glowing ball and launches at her. Insert Mr. Electric joke here. Then after those, we got the complete opposite, being times where Marvel's been referenced in the Sonic comics. And as you can assume, shit gets wild. Like in Archie Sonic Issue 4, there's this part where Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts are signing up for villain auditions, and two of the boys waiting on the other side are characters who are clearly meant to be Dr. Doom and Goblin. Then Issue 8's a complete parody of all superheroes, so the cover aids it pretty well, with a bunch of superheroes cartoonily fighting in the background, like Cap, Spidey, Punisher, and Ghost Rider from what I can tell. Then the actual comics cram full of superhero parodies, including Eggman ordering a Wolverine bot to beat up Sonic, but instead gets a Wolverine bot. And of course, the Spawn Mower, Todd, my beloved. Then in issue 19, different Sonics from different multiverses are brought in to fight Robo Robotnik, where out of all of them, our actual guy, Wolverine Sonic, stands above the rest. This design kinda slaps, not gonna lie. I love the eyes, they just work so well here. Issue 134's cover is a clear reference to Spidey, being a remake of Amazing Spider-Man 50's cover, with Sonic in the background as Sally walks in front of him, just like Peter does to Spidey. They even have the same green text saying "So long, Sally" instead of "No more Spider-Man." Pretty cool. You did something right. Then the Sonic Super Special, issue 10. Sonic shows a bunch of TVs with, again, all different Sonics from all different realities. And beyond Santa Sonic, Alistair Sonic, and Among Us, there's Knuckles Hulk, which works way better than you'd think it actually would, goddamn. And most importantly, Spidey Sonic. Not gonna lie, this is just so awesome. Like, for being a random throwaway gag, they did such a great job adapting the Spidey suit to fit Sonic. Like, the eyes here are really cool and work so well for him. This design's actually become pretty popular online, with a ton of fan art and hype surrounding this one-off design. And for fair reason, I mean, it's Spider-Man Sonic, that sentence needs no further elaboration. But someone who got infinitely more hype is the Ultra Chad Stealth the Hedgehog. Appearing for a whole 2 panels in issue 149, this is yet another alternate universe Sonic, with him fighting his arch-enemy, Professor Eggs, who's clearly supposed to be that guy I bought from Fortnite. But Stealth is an incredibly simple design, being just a shiny navy blue Sonic with some white Spidey eyes. But oh boy do people love this guy. He is an absolute mountain of fan art, 3D models, mods, videos, and all tons of different designs and adaptations. Heck, people even use him as a base to design more characters in this style. Pretty much any Sonic character you can think of has a Stealthverse OC created for them. Like, there's this one guy on DeviantArt named Code Sonic the Hedgehog, who's basically made, like, a whole universe based around this guy. Like, he's done so many Sonic characters in Marvel designs, like Shadow, Venom, Soul Knight, SBO, Daredevil, The Peak, Surge, Electro, and fucking Maria the Bio Lizard. My Jesus. Definitely go check this guy's stuff out. The link's in the description. This guy is just so cool. Such a random, simple thing turned into a bloody Marvel legend by random people online. Truly amazing. Pun entirely intended. So now with all those out of the way, we can get on to some more random stuff. Firstly, the shared voice actors the two franchises have. Okay, so there's like no way I'm gonna do every Sonic voice actor ever, so I'm gonna just pick a handful of the main characters. You've been warned. So starting with our guy, Roger has done a ton of work for Marvel, most notably being the go-to voice for Captain America. He's played him in a ton of stuff like Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, Marvel Rising, Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know why he's in that, and so on and so forth. He also voiced a few more characters, most importantly Lego Daredevil, but also Marvel and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes,
Jan Rog, Commander, I implore you, shut down the Negabomb.
Forge and Wolverine in the X-Men, Kylo Ren. Then Colleen has a few, like Friday in Marvel's Future Avengers, Wasp and Janet Van Dyne in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, as well as some additional voices in Spider-Man 1 and 2 and TASM 2, the video games. Cindy Robinson was a singer in Deadpool the video game, always good, but she was also Pepper in the Marvel anime. Travis Willingham played Thor a bunch, including in Fortnite, and oh yeah, this hunk of crap. And he was also Kingpin in Spider-Man PS4. Good luck on hearing that, bitches. Sandman in Spider-Man 2017, Captain Britain in Lego Marvel's Avengers, Goblin in Marvel Heroes. Good job on the name there, guys. 10 out of 10. And Hulk in Marvel Superhero Squad. Jason Griffith also voiced Iron Man in Iron Man Extremis. But yeah, Iron Sonic is real. And then, of course, Mike Pollock voiced Beast in Astonishing X-Men, and nothing else. I mean, man voiced Daddy in Caillou's New Adventures. What more do you want from him?
Hey, Caillou, you look great! Are you ready for your first day back at school?
Now, Caillou, I've come to make an announcement. And besides those, the movie cast has some overlap. Obviously, James Marsden, of course, played Cyclops in the X-Men movies. So if you want a Tom figure, I guess there's your best bet. And of course, T.J. Miller was good old Sheriff Wade, but was also friend of Wade Wilson as Weasel in both Deadpool films. And how could we overlook Ben Schwartz, Sonic himself, as MODOK's son Lou in the MODOK Hulu series? Absolute career-defining role right there. So then we get on to some more rapid-fire stuff, which isn't that crazy or anything, but just some random connections or references I wanted to talk about but don't have much to say about. Firstly, in the new Disney series, Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, there's a shot I refuse to look up the context of where she shoots her glove at some random criminals, with one of them being voiced by Roger coincidentally, and her glove makes a woo above it where on impact with a pole the O's become rings scattering around with the ring sound effect playing. Then of course that one from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I looked at in the Disney Sonic video.
I thought our gift was spinning really fast to collect gold rings.
The Winter Soldier line in Sonic 2, which, by the way, they must have really liked that considering they put it in like every single trailer and TV spot for some reason. Like, it's an okay joke, but goddamn. This phenomenal piece of art done by Evan Stanley. It's a simple shot of Sonic and Spidey on a building, but it's just so cool to see. It's so well made and the shading looks so nice. And I love the Raimi Silver style web lining that looks so good here. And since she drew it, I mean, it looks pretty much official and in line with all the comics. They're just guys. These two are just pals. It makes me happy. I mean, it's the closest thing we're probably ever gonna get to an official Sonic and Spider-Man crossover. Plus, it makes for one hell of a phone wallpaper. So that's pretty much all the references regarding the two. So you may be wondering what else there is to talk about. Well, there's still a few odd things I want to bring up, in the form of coincidental stuff between the two franchises, aka conspiracy theories. These don't hold much weight or anything, there's just a bunch of random ones I thought up, and I thought it'd be really fun to talk about. So let's start with the fact that the Chaos Emeralds are pretty damn similar to the Infinity Stones. Both are magical crystals that are most powerful artifacts in each other's respective universes, plus they come in multiple colors, and they're both gathered by the respective villains of each universe to use at their displeasure. Then there's how Silver is literally just Cable. Both go back in time to stop a cataclysmic future event. They both have white hair, plus a bunch of wacky future weapons and such. Sonic Prime's entirely based off the multiverse like half of media these days, with Sonic going around to different realities with different versions of his friends. Just like how the entire plot of the next 3 phases is completely centered around the multiverse. Speaking of, that entire fight between Sonic and Nine felt pretty damn similar if you ask me. And hell, man even had Wolverine claws, like bruh. Then in the movie, there's of course the scene where Sonic runs around the bar, stopping time and messing with people to his pleasure, which is an obvious recreation of when Quicksilver did the exact same thing in Days of Future Past. This one's not even a conspiracy theory, this is just pretty realistic of a theory, TBH. And then after all those, there's one final thing I want to bring up, and it is, in my opinion, the single-handedly greatest connection between these two franchises we ever will see. And it's how on December 7th, 2018, Marvel released their first teaser trailer for their biggest superhero movie ever, Avengers Endgame. And on that same day, our lovely good old friend Kenneth W. Penders saw the trailer and then made this beloved tweet. Ahem. I admit to being amused that the latest @Avengers film trailer references the most famous #Sonic the Hedgehog storyline @Archie ever published. It was 22 years ago that I came up with the Endgame 4-parter. Yep, this man genuinely believed that the multi-billion-dollar highest-grossing film series ever named their final event, the one they've been building up to for over 10 years at that point, which would go on to become the highest-grossing film of all time, after a 4-part storyline in the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic books from 1997. Jesus H. I mean, maybe he's joking, though I don't know if this man knows what a joke is. Man just gone mental at this point. You work on the Laura Sue Chronicles for so long, it starts to get to you. And that's what I call Marvel crossovers, references, and theories 113. I didn't make that up, they're on 113 right now. This was super interesting to look at, seeing all these weird and obscure times where Sonic and She-Hulk were in the same room together. But thanks for accompanying me on this grandiose adventure throughout the multiverse. Next video will be whatever I feel like, and yeah, I'm not sure if I have anything else left to say. Maybe we could do this again with some other franchise I'm addicted to, like, the bodacious world of Sonic and Avatar. So yeah, thanks to Gabe for helping with the video, and subscribe right now or you're getting the bandit phone.